Hi, I'm Jane Clement and you're watching AskMen.com.
So, Jessica.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Thanks for becoming AskMen.com's resident dating expert for the day.
Thank you for asking me. Good habits that women love about men is attention to detail. So remembering things, not just like the birthdays, but their favourite drink or complimenting them on their hair or their nails.
Is it an issue if, later on down the relationship, people begin to forget things, guys begin to tail off?
I think when you first start going out with a bloke, it's acceptable for them to not remember your birthday or an anniversary. I don't think it's fair when a girl says, right, when's my birthday, do you remember? But I think as time goes by, I think it is just something that you should just naturally remember anyway. So I think as time goes by, you should actually remember more rather than remembering less.
Right. What about if you're out on a date? What kind of things should a guy remember that will impress them the next time around?
I quite like it when a guy remembers my favourite drink. So instead of asking them, to get me a drink at the bar, it's already there on the table, like a nice big pint of Stella.
Is that your thing, a pint of Stella?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
You can roll with the guys?
I can, yeah. Not for very long, but maybe for the first few rounds, yeah.
How important is it to be yourself around a woman first time you're with her?
Women aren't stupid. Women can so tell when a man's putting on an act. And I don't like men who are nervous either. Like men just don't care and play a little bit hard to get, I quite like it's a bit teasing when a man gets his phone out during a date because it's a bit like, oh, why are you not paying all your attention on me? I don't like it when a man pays too much attention on me, and I don't think any girl does.
Right. So not overdoing it.
Not overdoing it, not underdoing it. Just being natural. Just not trying to, be too over the top. Not trying to give too many compliments. Not looking at them all the time because then you'll just freak them out.
Okay. And does that extend to the way you present yourself in terms of being yourself? What if I'm a bit of a slob, but obviously I'm trying to impress you on a date?
I hate a guy that tries to impress me with money or anything like that. I mean, there was a guy recently actually, he came up to me and said, oh Jess, I'm wearing a Primark suit. And I went, oh, that's all right. And he goes, I'm only kidding, it's Dior, look at that. And he showed me, I really didn't care at all. I don't like it when guys talk about labels, money, anything like that. I just like them just to be themselves. Boyfriend I've had now for 3 years, I don't even know how much he earns. I haven't got a clue. We just don't talk about it. It doesn't really bother me at all.
You sound like a cheap date, Jess.
I'm a real cheap date.
Fantastic.
Yeah, where are you taking me? Really, where are you
Primark.
taking me?
You shopping Primark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We'll go there.
Okay.
How about chivalry? How important is that?
Very important. I do like it when a guy opens up a door for me, but I don't like it when he, goes, oh, I'm opening the door for you. I like when he just does it naturally. It's just like something natural that he always does. Cab doors, anything. I just like it when something appears to be natural.
Is there anything that you might consider too over the top? Putting out chairs.
Yeah, just when
standing up
pulling
before
up chairs
you.
is a bit silly. Well, it depends where you are, doesn't it? It's all relative. You're in a really posh restaurant. I like a guy who knows his manners and knows when to tone them down and when to use them. And I don't like someone who hasn't got a clue, how to act whereabouts and when. There's a time and a place for everything. I think as when you can drop your standards a bit, when you have to, be really on the ball with your manners. No, that's important.
And how important is all that stuff later on in the relationship as well?
Oh, you've got to keep it going.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So at least for a couple of weeks?
No! It depends. How long do you usually have a relationship for?
A couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks, is that it? Why, what happens after that?
Trying, well, let's not talk about it.
Okay.
So what about treating other people well in terms of, how a guy acts around other people and other people's company, maybe around his mother or his sister? Does that give you an indication?
I love mummy's boys. No, not mummy's boys, but I love a guy who has a really good relationship with his mum and speaks to his mum every day. Yeah. I mean, I know I keep saying this is what I prefer, but I'm not that different to many girls. I'm sure we all feel the same. I do like a guy that has a good relationship with mum, who respects his mum as well. I really like that, and is very family orientated, because it just goes to show that in the future that's how he's going to be around you and your family and your babies. If you're at that stage where you talk about that.
But that's in theory, isn't it?
In theory, maybe. I don't know.
How about do you mind a guy that's quite loud, a bit leery?
I don't mind a guy who's loud and leery as long as he's not putting on an act, and that is how he is. I hate guys that put on acts. I can't stand it. I like it I love it when someone's consistent all the time, so you don't go, oh, sorry, my boyfriend was really loud that night. That is just how he is. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why they say sometimes bad boys get all the good girls? Because they're consistently bad?
Maybe, yeah. I think if you get a good boy that does bad one night, it's kind of totally out of character. But if you get someone who, at least you know what you're expecting with a bad boy, don't you? At least you know he's going to be bad.
So he starts off as a get, and by the end of your date...
He's a total get.
He's a total get.
Yeah. I don't go for bad boys there.
Okay, fair enough. Final question.
Yes.
Well, actually, very broad open one. Yeah. What else should guys look out for in terms of what it takes to impress a girl?
You know what? It's all the cliche sayings that everyone just dismisses. They're the ones, really. Just be yourself. Don't put on an act, and just try not to be too nervous, because nerves to me are so unattractive. I just like a really confident guy who just doesn't, don't need to make me laugh. Just need to just be themselves and, talk about themselves and want to know about me as well. But you can tell as well when a guy's not interested in you and they're just asking questions because they feel like you have to. I like a guy that talks a lot.
Yeah, like we're doing here.
Talks about himself, yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
You're very
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank
Good luck
you.
with the rest of the
Anytime.
shoot.